Today has been a funny day, guys. So more and more people are starting to believe that I work for the dealership. So I just want to clear the air. No, guys, I do not work for a car dealership. I would never ever put myself into that type of situation because I do have a background in sales. I think I'm actually a pretty decent salesman. However, I hate that environment. I hate the cutthroat environment where people are willing to throw each other under the bus just to get a dollar going in their direction. So I hate that. I will never do that. My services are free. If you guys ever have any questions or you guys want to contact me directly, feel free to email me. My email is tomvangtv@gmail.com. And guys, trust me, I'm a person of my word. I'm here to help you guys out. So let's talk about what I want to share with you guys today. What's interesting is this past week, more parents have been messaging me directly and saying, hey, my son found you on YouTube and he forced me to watch a few of your videos and he wants me to help him buy his WRX. And so I'm personally reaching out to you to ask you, is this really a good car? Are there things I need to be aware of before I help buy him this vehicle? Because looking at the price tag, it looks kind of expensive. And so it is. So to the parents and newcomers and anyone who is potentially interested in buying a Subaru WRX, whether it is brand new or used, I'll run through the list really quickly. So starting off on the negatives, the list of negatives. Before you even gauge into a Subaru WRX, the previous vehicle that you've driven or own really dictates how you feel about this vehicle. If you've owned a luxury vehicle, coming into this vehicle, you're going to be flabbergasted at how cheap everything is. The real selling point of this vehicle is the history of rallying, the Boxer turbocharged engine, the all-wheel drive, and the high safety ratings, and the overall parent company that supports this brand. That's really it. That's how you will see things. This car is very expensive. It is about $28,000 and up, and it's not just the cost of the vehicle itself, it is also the insurance and the overall maintenance cost and the ownership cost throughout the duration of time that you own this vehicle that you have to consider. You will get unwanted attention from this vehicle, both from other people and from cops. So it is very much a magnet for you to draw attention. So it's good and bad. As previously stated, this car, the quality is really subpar compared to many of the other competing brands, but because the way it's built, this car is more about safety, reliability over comfort and quality. After driving this vehicle for a while, you will realize that there's tons and tons of rattle and there's tons and tons of plastic everywhere, and you will essentially hear everything on the road. You will hear road noise, you'll hear rattle, and it's going to be very difficult to have a conversation in the cabin of this vehicle. And so oftentimes you're going to find yourself blasting up the music very loud just so you could kind of drown out all of those side noises. So it is very daunting to come into a vehicle like this, especially after paying this type of price point for it, to realize that it is actually a fairly low quality vehicle. Also, once you get into this vehicle, you're going to notice something right away. It feels kind of bland. When you get into this car, it's very quiet, it's very tamed, and that Subaru rumble that you often hear people talk about is not here. So it's because this car has a new engine. It's on the FA20 platform, and that Subaru rumble is gone. So it's not there anymore, and it feels kind of bland. When you get in, it's kind of underwhelming. You're like, this is it? Lastly, this car has a really bad reputation for being nicknamed a Corolla. So the 2015 and newer Subaru WRXs look like a Corolla at certain angles, and I actually have to agree. My girlfriend keeps calling this car a blue Corolla. So in the pictures, when you see the Subaru WRX at its stock form, it looks very bland and very basic. However, when you see it in person, this car is phenomenal. It looks beautiful and it looks amazing. And right then and there, this is a Subaru WRX and it looks very beautiful. So pictures do this car no justice, because this car does not look good in pictures, especially at stock form, but in person this car is amazing and it'll blow your socks off. So that wraps up all of the negatives about this vehicle from my opinion. Let's move on to all of the pros. One of the best things about owning a Subaru and owning a WRX is the rate of depreciation. Now, you know the golden rule, all cars are a depreciating asset. However, with Subarus, given its popularity and given its overall formula, the rate of depreciation for Subarus are rather slower compared to all of the other existing competitors. So there's also a Subaru guarantee trade-in program where, you know, years down the line, if your Subaru is in really good condition and you have low miles, you can go onto the website and you input your VIN number, and Subaru of America will give you a true value that they're willing to give back for you. So they won't buy the car back. However, they'll give you an exact price of what they feel that your car is worth. So let's say in 2021, I decided I want to sell my 2018 Subaru WRX. I can go onto this guaranteed trade-in program website, put in my VIN number, and it'll give me an exact value, minimum value of what others should be paying for this vehicle. So I can use that trade-in value to go into the Subaru dealership and trade it in for a brand new Subaru if I really wanted to, or sell it in the private market and say, hey guys, this car is justified by this value because this is what the guaranteed trade-in program has offered me, and you can use that and leverage it along with the actual Kelley Blue Book website and say, hey, look, these are an average of what this car is worth, and this is my justification as to why I'm selling this car for this much. The next best thing about this ownership experience of Subarus is the community. Now, I've been in a Toyota, I've been in a Honda, and overall, Subaru, it has been one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had owning a simple vehicle. Now, just given the fact that I own a Subaru, you feel accepted not just by the parent company, but also the people, all of the owners. Like, there's a certain type of feeling you get when you interact with other Subaru owners and they give you the Subaru wave. They'll flag you down, give you a peace sign, you know, thumbs up, any type of gesture to give you an acknowledgement like, hey, we're in the same family, we're all in the same community. And that little simple gesture goes a long way, and it feels like a pat on the back, knowing that you made the right decision and knowing that you are in the right community. And it's just overall way more pleasant and way more positive versus any of the other communities that I've ever been a part of, especially Toyota and Honda. In the car enthusiast scene, it's very, very cutthroat, and people tend to bash on each other, and that's the overall negative stigma all across the board. However, with Subaru, that's very, very minimal, and you only see that amongst the younger crowd and those who don't know better, and they tend to like to bash each other. But overall, it has been a very, very pleasant and positive experience for me as a new Subaru owner coming into this community once again, and to be accepted and to feel reassured that I made the right decision. Next on the list is, of course, I've said it again and again, the practicality and the utility of the Subaru WRX. Now, this vehicle is an all-purpose vehicle, and I do want to talk about this versus the STI in a later video somewhere down the line, but today I will just be talking about the actual utility of this vehicle. When I say utility, I mean that this vehicle can do anything and everything that you want it to do. It is an all-wheel drive vehicle. It could take you places. It could perform very, very well in any kind of environment, both snow, desert, flatlands, other terrains. And it is just reassuring knowing that this vehicle is capable of going essentially anywhere that you want to. And also it has the potential to put on roof racks so you could haul things. The seats, it could fold down so you could haul and store larger items in the vehicle or transport it as need be. It is a 4-door sedan, and so of course the practicality, and you're able to, you know, have more people in the vehicle, and overall just the safety features that this car has to offer, because Subaru is rated as one of the top safest vehicles out there, and you know, it's not a joke. They are rated 9 out of 10, and just being in a Subaru, knowing that reassurance that even if something were to happen, like 80% of the time you're going to come out uninjured or unscathed, or if anything, very, very minimal scratches and stuff like that. And so I've seen lots of people show pictures of their Subaru all tattered and destroyed, but they came out unscathed, and they're very, very appreciative of their vehicle, and it's very bittersweet, right? You don't want your car to get destroyed, however, that car protected you. And that's an amazing feeling, knowing that regardless of what type of vehicle you are in, as long as it's a Subaru, you know you are very, very safe. So wrapping up this video, I hope I've given you some perspective of this vehicle, especially coming from an owner, and aiming more towards the ownership experience and overall. And what I want you guys to take out of this video is really the perspective at which you're approaching this vehicle. If you're buying it for your son, just be aware that this is a little more expensive. Your son may get into trouble because of how fast his car is and the mod potentials that this car has to offer, and all of the attention, both good and bad, and overall the expenditures, because this is not a cheap car. This is a fairly expensive car, and I want you to do what's right for yourself or for your son. Think about all of the pros and cons and weigh it accordingly, right? I hope you guys like this video, and if you do, please give this video a thumbs up, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And of course, guys, don't forget to subscribe.